Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another episode in our Waterfall Ephemera series. I had told you that I was going to do a project with a pull tab kind of mechanism for our waterfall element. So that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to talk a little bit less today. I just had oral surgery yesterday. This project was already planned. These were already made before I had to deal with the dentist. So yesterday they did pull a back tooth and did all the grinding and fun stuff to do the bone graft so I can have an implant. So I had a cracked crown that sent me into another universe of hell for about 2.5 days. So I'm feeling much better today. I am a little bit slow going and a little bit marked up. They just don't know how to do this stuff. Look at my arm. They blew out this whole thing. This was like 3 times the size it's supposed to be. And it was a mess, but I'm grateful. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful. It's resolved. My mouth is still very sore. I feel like I got pulled into a back alley and got beat up. So my mouth does hurt a bit. Not too bad today. The pain meds don't do very well with my body, so I haven't taken any today, just living off of ibuprofen and Tylenol. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get going. So I have my normal supplies. Oh, I forgot to grab we need our Fabri-Tac and our white glue. So I'm getting those ready as well. And I've got my eyelet setter, eyelets, corner rounder, glues I'm going to put over here because we will need the space for the cutter to do some scoring. I've already cut everything down to size, again, just in preparation for knowing that this was going to be a little bit more of a trickier video time for me. And my ink, of course. So these are the samples that I made. So it is a what's this direction? This is horizontal. This is vertical. Is that right? Brain is not working. So it's that kind of belly band. So I've put a gusset on the belly band. That's upside down. And so it's going to glue on the page here, and then this can be lifted out. These are a couple of cards. So that's really pretty. This is from one of I think it's called Lilac Dreams from Pink Monarch Prints. And so we've got our same mechanism. It's exactly the same. The creation of it is slightly different, so that we can get this pull mechanism. So I'm going to separate it from the belly band just so you can see. You could also do this with a regular horizontal belly band as well. So there we've got our mechanism. I love that idea of it just being able to be pulled down. So that's pretty nifty. So I do have 2 cards and then one with a whale tail tab there on the top, or on the bottom rather. And then this is the other one I made. This is going to go, Christina, it is the last piece, I think. Now, so I mentioned before that I often forget to do things like paper clips and clusters and things like that. So I might come, maybe if I'm feeling okay to do a Saturday, unscripted Saturday, maybe we'll do some of that and use up the scraps from the kits that I've been using for the keepsake journal, which is going to Christina. So, oh, that's upside down too. So same deal. Got a couple of cards, a couple of large journal spots, which I really enjoy. And then we have our same mechanism with a different designer paper there. So, oh, that's stuck. Why is that stuck? It might be a glue issue. So, oh, there we go. Yeah. Probably just got a little bit of glue stickage, so that works just fine. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and show you the template. So this is the template. The width of the belly band is 5 3/4 inches wide, which allows you a 1/4 inch gusset on either side. But of course, if your journal is not 5 1/4, your pages are not 5 1/4 inches wide, you would want to adjust your measurements. Now, this is one of those pieces that would be maybe difficult Well, I guess we would put this in after we put the journal together, so it would just glue in. You wouldn't want to put this in before you put your signatures in, because you're going to bump in to that set, whatever edge you end up putting it on, a left or right page. So our waterfall pieces measure 3 1/4 by 3 3/4, and I did 7 of them. And then the belly band I mentioned is 5 3/4 inches wide and is 3 3/4 inches tall. And then our mechanism is 4 by 11, and which is going to be slightly varied because my paper, once I print on it, is not 11 inches, it's 10 3/4. So I'll show you that with the paper. The band, our mechanism band, is 1 inch by 8 inches, I believe. Okay, so these are all of our pieces. Again, I prepped everything. These are our cards right here for the journal cards. And then this is the this is a new kit, a different kit. Let me see if I can glance at my stacks of their stuff and tell you which one this is. It might be Happy Day. Let me grab it really quick. No, it is not Happy Day. What is it? I should have had that ready for you guys. I'm so sorry. Oh, I believe that... I don't know what this one is. I will link it. I'm so sorry, guys. I was not quite prepared. Got a couple of tabs here. This is our belly band piece, so you'll be able to see that it measures 5 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And then all of our little papers, which I did stagger them, so they're all different. There should be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those. And then our element, let's see how this ends up being. It should be 10 3/4. Yeah, it's 10 3/4. So we might have just a little bit less space at the bottom than this. It might look more like, it might look more like this. Okay, which is fine. So let's go ahead and start with our mechanism. So we're going to bring the score tool over, and this is how this one differs from the other ones we've been doing. Is you're going to take this paper and you're going to fold it in half. Try to be as precise as you can. I'm matching corner to corner to see if I can get that super straight, and then just give that a good burnish there. Again, perfection is never at play in the studio, even if I'm aching in pain. Another issue I'm having is I think I had spent the whole weekend with this tooth issue, and I was walking around in my bare feet. I have plantar fasciitis, so my body doesn't like that. So I get to the dentist office to have them evaluate my tooth, and I had to take my left shoe off because my foot was itching so bad. So that's another, unfortunate thing that happens for me, and it's kind of embarrassing, to be honest, because here I am in the doctor's office. I had to leave to go to my car and get a Benadryl so that I could try to calm it down. And then they sedated me, so I had to make sure I disclosed that I took some Benadryl. But anyway, they didn't, I wasn't asleep, but I definitely did not remember what was happening, which is a beautiful thing, because they did the extraction and the bone graft. I've never had a bone graft, and I did not want... I'm like, I've never had a bone graft. And they're like, let's just sedate you. And I'm like, cool with me. And then my sweet husband came and took me home, and he was there towards the end. But anyway, so we folded that in half. And let me just show you, since I didn't review that measures 4 inches wide. And we already did the 10 3/4. So you do want to ink this top edge. Well, you can ink all your edges. Let's just do that really quick so that this piece is ready to go. We'll ink the inside when we get to that point. But this is different, a different mechanism. Not a different mechanism, but a different base. So just something different to try. Okay. And then you're going to go ahead, and I didn't like using my cutter to make my marks, so I'm going to use my grid here. I know it's probably hard for you guys to see terribly well, so I'm just going to make sure that is nice and straight. And I'm just going to make 1/4 inch, and we're going to go this way. And we need, so you need an extra score line here. So then we need a total of 7 spaces. So I feel like I got a little bit of a lisp here. Okay, so I'm going to mark a 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, quarter, quarter, quarter. If it's not perfect, it's not perfect. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need one more. Okay. Oh, we need, okay, we have to make sure we have 7 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Okay. So now we can go ahead and score that. And hopefully I'll be able to see those lines. Okay. So let me do that really quick. There we go. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 spots. So again, we're gonna ink this center section. I believe that the cards are not quite as wide. Let me just check. Yeah, no, they're not. So I'm gonna not ink all the way to the edge because I don't like to see all those. So I'm just gonna put a dab of ink on each of those score lines there. Paper. I didn't pull a belly band piece, so I'm going to need to figure out what kit this is. Oh, I think it's right here. It doesn't have its own home yet. It's this one. It is the Victorian Romance kit. Okay, so I'm just going to set that there so I can grab a belly band piece. And it's not a belly band, it's a mechanism piece. So it's a really unique way to attach it than I've typically used. So it'll be fun. There we go. All right. So that is all ready to go. So again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to round all the corners now, making sure that I've got this going the right way. So because they are wider than they are tall. So I've got 7 of these. I'm going to go ahead and round the corners and ink them up, and I'll be right back. Oh, that was super dark. I thought the ink pad was not quite so, okay, maybe it depends on where I tap it on the pad, because that was really juicy. So again, we're going to arrange these how we want them. So now, if you were using a taller paper, you could, you wouldn't come up even like this necessarily. So you might need to cut some off the bottom, but in this case, we're not going to be trimming anything off of the mechanism piece. So let's decide what we want for our top piece. So we've got that style there. So we've got those and those. And then we should have 3 of these. So I'm thinking this one might be a good one for the top. Did I pull? I didn't pull out any decorative pieces. We'll do that together. So that's going to be the top. And then I do, as I mentioned before, I like to separate the colors so that they look a little bit more purposeful, like this. Boom. And boom. Actually, I think I like that. Well, maybe I like this one better because it's got less of that damask design. So I'll just flip those. Okay. And then I just like to turn these over and work from bottom to top. Okay, you're going to need your white glue for this because you do want a pretty fast adhesion. And you're just going to want to I spy how far you are from the edges so that you get them centered. Oh, I need to erase those pencil marks that we made for the score line. There we go. Easy peasy. Okay, so just going to kind of estimate here. It's probably about 1/8 of an inch from the edge, each edge, I would say. Okay, we're going to go ahead and attach these. I'm going to go ahead and not talk through this, but I might slightly speed it up depending on how long the video is, but you'll be able to tell what I'm doing, and you've seen it before. It actually works to fold that, because then you know exactly where you want that to line up. So I just folded that down. Oops, and I got a little bit extra glue on that end, but no big deal. No big deal. And this gives you a little bit more of a guidance for straightness too, since we didn't ink that whole edge. So that was a good idea. Good idea, Cara-Renee. So I like the contrast in these Pink Monarch Prints kits because you get dark cut passages of color with lighter variety of color, and it's really pleasing. Oh no, I didn't do that right because we've got an extra. Oh no, what did we do? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? I may have to cut another one because I got an extra line. No, I don't. Oh, pain head. So I have to tell you something silly. I had, when I decided I was going to go get this tooth taken care of, I don't do the dentist. In the years past, I've always been somewhat sedated because it's so triggering for me in like it's because I didn't see this one, in every conceivable way that I take something with me that brings me comfort. And so I have this tiny, tiny bear, and I have to make sure I look in my pockets before it goes through. It's only about that tall. And so I took that with me. But when I took my sweater off, I think it's in my sweater pocket, I went and sat back down in the chair. I asked one of the people there to please get my little bear out of my pocket for me. And she did. And I said, I know it's kind of silly. And they're like, no, it's not. It's smart. So that felt really good for them to honor that. They're a great dentist, had great service there for a number of years here. So there we go. So I just held on to it. Oh, what happened here? I didn't line these up properly, but that's okay. So you can see it looks like here we went a little askew. It's got a little bit more space over this side, but that's all right. As I say, perfection is not at play. Let me see if I got any water in my bottle. Not even enough to slurp. Bummer deal. Okay, so that is that. So now I'm going to go ahead and round these corners. They are pretty much completely even, which my folding ability must have been a little bit better than on some of my samples. So I just can do those together without any problem. And then I think I'll go ahead and take a moment and ink the inside. Well, the inside doesn't show. Why do you need to ink this inside? Oh, it will show when we do the mechanism. So let's go ahead and ink all of this as well. It's been a few days since I planned this project, so mine is not super fresh or clear, even on a good day. My night last night was so miserable, like better than the other 2 nights, but I get this itchy foot thing, and then I'm like, my husband's sleeping, so I'm trying to be quiet and trying to get ice and run the bath water and soak my feet and do all that stuff, and it's just like, stop the nonsense. So I'm just gonna grab a piece here. I don't really want to use that. Maybe, is this wide enough? No, it is not wide enough. Let's see if I can find another piece in here. I just started using this kit, so I don't have a bunch of scraps yet. But I love it. And we're going to decorate this together too, because look at those images. They're just so beautiful. But I'm a flower girl. I love anything with flowers on it. So let's see what we've got here. This one's a little bit different. So we're to the solid papers here. So let's just decide together. And I did print, I think, a few of each. I'd like to see something contrasty. Although it's not going to really show. It actually probably should be something in those same colors because it will go together. Let's use this. I'm just going to cut this down to 4 inches wide and cut off the white borders here. I think my body's also fighting. I had a lot of infection underneath the crown, so they gave me antibiotic and stuff. But last night, part of my struggle was I think my body was fighting that, and so I didn't run a fever. I mean, my body got hotter, but it never was at fever level. And so that kept me up and awake, and I had the small fan blowing on me at high speed because I was just drenched as I was sitting there trying to calm my body. Okay, so this, oh, so now that doesn't need to be 4 inches. What the what? Oh, Renee, you are just a hoot and a half today. So the belly band is only, oh my gosh, 1 inch by 8 inches. So let's just trim that off. And then we'll cut some of this off, actually. I think on one of my samples, I might have that dimension wrong. So I'll change that if I do, because I believe that I cut too much off on one of them. So if you go like this, you wrap this around, I'll tell you what it should be. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to lift the waterfall elements off just so that you have that base that we folded over. And we're going to go ahead and just kind of do our little wrappy thing. And I'm just going to give a soft pinch here. Okay, and then I want to make sure that that's straight, so I'll take it off. Like so. And then we want, I like to have a little bit of wiggle room, so don't make it too tight. Like about maybe 1/8 of an inch of a gap. Give that a press there. I mean, nothing's going to fall out, and that will make more sense here in a second. So let's go ahead and try to figure out how much we need to take off of this without doing a measurement. I'm going to actually use my pencil, and I'm only going to leave about 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go right there, and then I should be able to give you a measurement here. And I'll correct the template. It is 8 3/4. So let me fix that while I'm thinking about it, because otherwise I will not. So it's 8 what did I just say? 3/4. I'm brain dead. 8 3/4. I make mistakes too, you know. Okay, so now we can go ahead and cut that part off because that's excess. You're not going to see this, so don't worry about it. I do ink the outside though, so that it's I don't want to get too much dark ink. I'm going crazy with that. Oh, the other fun thing was the entire experience yesterday was over $5,000. No, almost $5,000. Like, how can that be? Like, the implant itself is $2,800. And my insurance does not cover the implant. So they gave me a discount anyway because they're nice people, but it was terribly expensive. But thankfully, God has provided for us well, and we have good savings, and so it doesn't hurt us. But I found I have Viva account with my work, and I forgot about that, but I've got about $1,500 on that. So I'll be able to get reimbursed for a part of that. So see how that mechanism is not going to show? So you don't have to worry about it. So we're not going to wrap it around like we would a typical belly band. We do want to ink these edges that we folded, because those are going to be our glue lines. And you're actually going to be gluing this to, so lift up your last waterfall element. You're going to glue this on. Now I found that I wanted to keep it kind of low. So I'm going to go try to keep it at this level. So I'm actually going to make a pencil mark and keep it at the level of that last waterfall piece. You could play around with this and see what you can do. I didn't try to complicate anything in this project. So, because I did create it while I was having a toothache. So, because that toothache started last Friday. So, enough of that. Enough of that dentist stuff. And then I know this is a little bit harder to see. I've lifted up the waterfall element, and I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. Okay. And I'm going to put it on that pencil line, and then I'm going to pick it up and do any adjustments that need to be done so that it's running parallel with that bottom element, and that we've got a little bit of room on the side. So that's perfect. And then the only other thing you're going to do on this side, make sure you don't have any glue, because you do not want that to stick, okay? Then you're going to glue this shut, okay, like this. It's not, see how it's not glued down to this on the back? That's an important piece of this process. I forgot to mention, I originally watched this on Cara-Renee over at Caged Crafts. And as I've mentioned before, I've done a lot of her tutorials. I always point back to her. She passed away some time ago. Her channel was taken down. It does not exist anymore, but she was a sweet, sweet lady, and she had some fantastic ideas. So all credit goes to Cara-Renee. Now I am altering this significantly, but that's where I learned it. Okay, and so this piece right here, this is going to get glued onto our belly band piece. So we need to get that ready. I think, did I score it already? No, I did not. So we'll do that together. So you're going to score it, make sure it's going the direction you want it to go. It looks like the script is that way. So we're going to score 1/4 of an inch on each short side. Score not cut. I might make one more off camera and do it the other way, put it on a belly band that's horizontal. I don't know. Okay. So that's that, and then just go ahead and fold that. I like my corners rounded, so we're going to round the belly band corners as well. Just make sure you get a really good burnish there so that your little corner rounder can go through both pieces of the paper. Mine seems to do okay. All right. What did I just do with that? My ink paper. What are you smoking, Renee? I'm really not smoking anything, honestly. Clearly, because my mouth is hurting. I put it over there. It cut off the estimate part of my statement. Oh, too much information. I know. I know. Thank you for all your prayers and well wishes as I was struggling. Some people on Facebook were sending encouragement. So, and in the comments as well, because of the Monday video, I had talked about it because I recorded it obviously before Monday. So people were like, oh, I hope your tooth gets better and all that jazz. So thank you for all of that. So that's our belly band. Make sure it's going the right direction. Okay. And so now we're ready for this. So we don't do anything else with this. I am going to ink these edges just in case they show. They probably won't, but I like to just do it for the sake of it. So we're going to put this on here. So what I did, now I think in my past ones, I did put this up higher. It does not matter. This is completely secure. So I'm going to use my grid here and try to find my center. Okay. And I'm actually going to try to mark it so that I can get this somewhat straight, using the bottom line as well, so I'm even on both sides, as even as I can be. I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to look at, oh, that's perfect. Yeah, that helps a lot. So I only really have to make a mark on one side, but I am going to do it so that I'm making a straight line, so that when I line it up, it's just easy peasy. Okay. Oh, I didn't go down far enough. Okay, no, it doesn't work though. Yeah, it does. Okay, sorry guys. A lot of waffling today. Okay, so I'm going to use my fabric tack in case I need to move it. Make sure you don't get any glue under that piece. So I put my hand in there so I know I'm clear, and be very generous with your glue. You could use white glue if you felt confident that you're going to be able to get it in place quickly. I didn't see really any particular benefit to moving the belly band up. It didn't affect the mechanism, but you'd want to make sure that it didn't, okay? So I'm lining that up with that pencil line on that edge, okay? And then just, I'm going to I Spy it, make sure it looks good. It feels like it's off, even though I did measure that. And then, oh, I kind of like it at that point, a little bit higher, okay? And then I'm just going to reach back here and just kind of push that down, okay? Because that's not going to come up now. And we're not going to mess with that. Yeah, we're not going to mess with that mechanism right now. I do have a whale tail punch, or a whale tail tab for that. So I think I'd like to use the green one because it's a little more contrasty to the base it's going to be glued on. There we go. So the other thing I did is I'm going to turn this. I'm going to try to move that mechanism because I need to get this bottom piece. So you're pulling this bottom piece and your mechanism is going to go. So I'm just pulling it up so that I can get the center of this so I can get my whale tail tab on. I've been realizing I've been kind of being lazy about this kind of thing, and it doesn't take but a minute to get things straight. So I'm going to put a mark there in the center, and then I'm also going to mark the center of my tab by just using the grid here, which is a little bit hard today. There we go. Okay, so now I can see it a little better. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because I like, again, that ability to adjust if I need to. And then you're making sure you're not putting it on this piece. Okay, you're putting it on the back piece. Not this piece, rather, but this piece, because it's the mechanism. So I'm going to kind of, let me turn that back over so I can see my little line on the whale tail tab. So see, I have a line there that I can kind of sort of line up with that other line. Again, I'm just aiming for, you know, sort of in the middle here. And I can get this, set this right back down. And it looks like it needs to come over just a smidge like that. And we're even Steven. Okay. Let's go ahead and punch our hole. I think I'm going to go lay down when I'm done. I am going to do some fussy cutting today. I need to get the Christmas kits ready so that we can start making ephemera that's more journal specific, because all these that I'm making right now, other than the one I made for the keepsake journal, are not designated for any journal. They're just generic. There we go. Okay, and I think I'm going to do the cards off camera as well, because so see how it's all the way. Now you can't, I mean, you could technically write on that if you wanted to, but it's a little bit more tricky. But you just push this up and pull it out. Push it up, pull it out. Okay, so it is not glued down here. It's very, very important that the only thing that's glued down is that mechanism. Okay, so that's that. So now I think is all we have left to do is do a little decor. So I'd rather do that with you than the cards, because that's all I'm going to do is round those corners and round the corners and put a whale tail tab on one of them. So those are the papers. Now these smaller pages always work really well for this kind of thing, but they're a little bit short. Let's see. They are 7 inches, so a little bit shorter than I would like. So I'm not going to use the short pages. Let's and so that means I have to use the actual big pages, because nothing is really big enough in the kit. So what did I do? Oh, they're right here. Goodness gracious, Cara-Renee. Goodness gracious. No, I'm looking for ephemera. I promise I'm only on ibuprofen and Tylenol right now. I promise. So this is some of the stuff. Let me just let you in view here as we peek through and see what we want to put right here. Oh, I love the little girl. I love that as well. It's a little bit too wide. And I print several of these when I do it. So let's just see what we've got here. Got a flower that might be pretty, but I need to separate that. Guess I didn't get those pages out of the ephemera. The ephemera bits. Oh, I think one of these would be really pretty. This one right here. Because we're going to be able to bring in that green color, which I think will make it really pop. So what is the size of this circle? I have a lot of circle punches. If you didn't, obviously you could cut it by hand, but it is, oh, it's 3 1/4. I hate it when they do that. We're going to have to cut it by hand. Otherwise it'll be too small, because I have to downsize here. Let me just fussy cut this out really quick. Oh, and by the way, it's Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to any of you that served or are serving or have friends or family that have served, I thank you very much for your dedication to our country. Veterans Day is very important to me. My son served in the military, I think for about 12, maybe not, I don't know. My brain doesn't work very well all the time, so I can't actually recall how long he served. Now that is a little bit too big. What are we gonna do? I don't think it's going to infringe on anything. I think what I'll do is I'll just put a little bit of ink. Well, let's just ink the back so that wherever we land, we've got a little bit of ink there. It's not a problem. I could also cut it off if I felt inclined. We'll see. But anyway, my son served. He served in Iraq. He went to Iraq twice. He has been out of the military he's 40 now, so he's been out for quite a while. But yeah, so, and my daughter-in-law served for a short time, his wife, and then some friends of my son served as well. So it's a very noble thing that these men and women do for our country. I'm very, very grateful. Thinking I don't think I can get into the top to cut the top off, so I'm just I-spying that, trying to get it even, and we've just got a smidge. I don't think it's going to matter. I think I'm just going to leave that there, let it be okay, not fuss about it. But that is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Now we need a word. Let's see if this kit has any words in it. I haven't fussy cut it yet, so I'm not sure what all is it. Oh, there is. There is. Yay. Journaling cards fold in half. Oh. Birds of a feather, written in the stars. Spread your wings. I like that one. Spread your wings and fly. I think I will do an impromptu unscripted Saturday and do some paper clips or some clusters for the, maybe we'll do some more simple clusters using some scraps and whatnot for the keepsake journal. And then Christina, I hope to be starting to work on that this week. I do need to get to a fabric store. Somebody recommended one. Joann's being closed, we're very limited with what we have to choose from. So yeah, anyway. Actually, I think I'd like to put that right there. Let's put it right there. So I do need to do that before I can put the journal together. I can get the base started, but I do want to cover it with fabric. And I might wander down. I moved all my fabric down to the garage room. So I need to go check down there and see what I have. So I'm trying to get that centered-ish. I'm going to go down a little bit further. That will cover up that and make it look like it was more purposeful. And then we've just got a little bit of that hanging out there too. You know what? Maybe we will move it up. Let's move it up and just cut that off. Let's just cut that little bit off. Nobody's going to know. Okay, there we go. What am I bumping into that's so thick there? That's weird. Never knew. Look at that, baby. So pretty. So let's go ahead and do those journal cards since we're doing okay. I can cut some of that out and speed some of it up. So that'll be good. So I'm just going to round the corners. They're already cut down. I cut them 2 sizes. I like them to stagger. So this one measures 5 1/4 by, I believe, the whole 8 1/4. And then this one measures 4 3/4 by, I believe it was 8. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8 3/4. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 3/4. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, let me round these and ink them and I'll be right back. Well, my husband has the day off here today on Veterans Day as well, so he's out getting new tires put on his truck. So he should be home shortly. He's such a good man, you guys. I mean, this man takes such good care of me. Like I realized that they wanted to sedate me. I had driven myself there and they're like, is there somebody that can come pick you up? And I'm like, yeah, my husband told me this morning if I needed him to take me, I could just let him know. And so I messaged him and he made his arrangements and came right there. And then my daughter came and helped us go get the car because I obviously had to leave my car there, and then took care of pharmacy stuff, and then came home. I'm on a mostly liquid soft diet right now. And then I don't know if you guys have ever had a bone graft where they stitch inside your mouth on your gum, but it's got all these strings that touch my tongue. Really, really, really bothers me. I have to kind of dissociate it off because I can't deal with it. So that's not fun, but... And then it's got a little, I've never had one, so it's got a little metal, I don't know what's made out of, metal circle, like really small diameter, that the tooth will screw into. It's like so fascinating. So fascinating. But I guess now I'll have to say I have an implant when I go through I think. I don't travel, so haven't been on an airplane in I don't even know how long. I mean, I love to fly, but I love to be home more than I love to fly. So this tab is going to go at the top because it's going to go like that. That's a great compliment. Ooh, good choice, Cara-Renee. I'm going to go ahead and just use the white glue, and then we are going to be done. And I'm hoping to have the energy to prep this is the Wednesday video, and prep, it's only Tuesday, and get my other video for the week prepped, and then I should be able to do unscripted Saturday. So if everything goes well, but I think I'm going to lay down for a bit and watch a movie or something. Give myself a break. Okay, let's see how well did we do. Oh, well, perfect. Woohoo! Okay, that goes like that, and that goes like that. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, why is that so tight? I'm going to have to cut some off that green. It's too tight. That's weird. It's causing pressure on that. We don't want that. So I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.